Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Apprentice. Today we're going to be talking about my elms that I've got here and what has happened this spring, what I'm planning to do with them. I'm going to show you guys and give you guys some few tips on continuing to care for your elms and looking after them. So please like, share, subscribe. If you enjoyed this tremendously and you want to help me get to Japan, please go and donate to my GoFundMe. That would be amazing. But without further ado, I'm going to grab the camera, bring it in closer so you can see my baby small trees here, and we can talk about what's happening with them, okay? Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is this elm. It is one of my main elms that I really enjoy. This is the one that's got the nasty marks in the trunk, though, that we'll have to figure out how to get rid of here come long run, but we're going to talk about an idea. As you can see, the top is very lush, very healthy. All the cuts that we've done, all the dieback, it responded very well, and all looks really nice. And we got a lot of nice growth down below, leading up all the way up the tree that can make some branches or whatever else we need. So we'll come back and talk about what I want to do to this tree in a second, but let's talk about the other one and then our final one. We started with the healthiest. So for some reason, and I'm not really sure why, but this one just did not make it. You can see that there's green towards the base, towards this nasty wound here. But up top, there's really nothing happening. There are a few buds that are trying to push, like up at the very top, and kind of in this crotch area, but they've all browned and kind of withered. And I'm not really sure why. As far as I can tell, everything about this plant is the same. I treated it the exact same as this one, but this one recovered so much nicer. And this one, I mean, it's got stuff towards the edge. I don't know if there's something maybe going on with the roots. I really just don't know. There's nothing special about how I treated this tree versus the other one. So, they're exact same soil, exact same conditions. They sit next to each other on the bench. So there's really no reason, in my opinion, that this one should have never came out, but it didn't. So that's kind of what happened with this other one. And then my final one is one that was never in really good health. I had it for about 6 months. We got it last fall, and it never really stood a chance or had a chance. And unfortunately, it was a big maybe if it'll come out this spring. Unfortunately, it did not. But really no harm, no foul. I got some moss cover. There was rocks sitting on it to hold it in place. And yeah, like I said, this one just kind of died. It never leafed out. So, but like I said, I kind of had a feeling that it would never make it. So, no harm, no foul, just trying to keep it alive. But that is, it is something to keep in mind going forward. All right. So, things happen. This is a baby tree. It can't be more than 1-2 years old. And it's kind of I like it because of the nice style to it, but at the end of the day, there's nothing really necessary for it. So things happen, trees die, it's so young, and I've had it for such little time, it didn't really matter. So that's okay. We'll just set that one over there. But what we're going to talk about today is how I'm dealing with these two and what my thoughts are. We're going to start with this one, and it's going to be real simple. Today I'm just going to go and I'm just going to cut off these branches, and I'm just going to come in and cut, here. I'm going to cut here, cut that piece off, and I'm going to come in and cut there. And as you can see in the ring, there is like very little, sorry, as you can see in the ring, there's very little green in that. So that means that like the branch was just dying off. And I'm not really sure why. But we'll see what happens. We have some nice buds right around this wound. As you can tell, we got some really nice buds coming out right there. So maybe what'll happen is we'll just see these elongate and grow, and maybe make a tree that's taller, that's got multiple branches to it coming off in the future that I can do something with. But like I said, for now, it's just kind of gonna sit like that, and hopefully we see some growth out of it. Like I said, I'm not really sure why it didn't grow like it should have, but it was all treated the same. And as far as I can see, there's no pests or anything. But like I said, outside of just the 2 or 3 small green, you know, and I wouldn't even call them green, but just buds that haven't completely withered, it just didn't make it. So like I said, there's the end, which is very little green in it. So that's not ideal. Obviously you want as much green this time of year as possible. And that should have been just really coming out. So I'm not really sure why I didn't. So we'll get rid of that. And those 2 are going to be done. So this is the big boy though. This is the one I really wanted to talk about. So as you can see, in certain parts of this, there's just some nasty marks that'll never grow out. And so for years, I've been trying to contemplate how I'm going to fix this and how I'm going to get this into a reasonable tree. And as we turn, you can notice that there's a little mark here. But as we get further and further around, you know, there's almost nothing. There's a little one down here towards the bottom. You know, and it kind of is almost faded out too there. You can almost not see it. I bet if I come and take my scissors and shave that flush, in a couple years it'd heal over and you'd never know it was even there. Same thing with this, you know, little bit of cut, maybe right there too. If I'll focus, this little bit of cut right here, so I'm finding it and trying to film. So, you know, if I come in, I might just even leave that. It's smoothing out very well over time, unlike some of these other gashes that are just gnarly. So I've been thinking for a long time, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to keep this? And what do I want to do with it? And I think this year, and right now is a great time. And elms take cuttings really, really nicely. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this top section off right where those cuts end. All right, take these 2 off, cut right where that section ends, plant this, and then have this piece here in front just be my new leader. And this year, just let it grow and elongate, okay? And that should fix a lot of this issue here in this area and around in this area. And I can just toss that out, not have to worry about it. And I think, like I said, if I take a little bit of my my concave and just clip that out, in a year you won't even know it's there. We'll have really nice taper in this tree, whereas right now we don't have a lot of taper. So hopefully if we continue that and this works, we'll get 2 trees, some really nice taper, and that will be how we do it. Okay? So one thing I want to show too, I've just got some organic soil here. This will be what I plant this in. So it's just, you know, nice organic potting soil and a clay cup. And what I'll show you how I work my cuttings here in Missouri, because I take them, I leave them outside, especially this time of year. That's really nice. But what I'll do is I'll cover it with a bag. So I'll cover the top when the branch is in there, and that'll help keep humidity on it, and so it won't come out, okay? And it'll keep those leaves nice and fresh. Let me grab my concaves. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is that concave cut. So basically it's just gonna be nibbling that little bit just right off to make it smooth, okay? And honestly, I don't even know if it'll, there it goes, just a little bit. There we go. So now that you see, it's nice and flusher now. It's nice and flush. That'll heal right over. It's not even very big. So you can see the cut right there. It's not very big. And I imagine in, you know, two months or something, that's going to be almost completely healed over. Well, maybe not if I cut this top off, but, you know, by the end of next year, you won't even notice that was ever there. And that will be that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this big cut. And this cut's going to be scary, but that's okay. Kind of at a diagonal. And we're just going to cut right through. Make sure not to nick that bud, just right through. Okay, and so that's what we're going to be left with on this tree. It's not very big. Coming back, we're going to make sure we water this a lot less until we get a lot more elongation on this branch, which is just now going to be flowing off. Okay, this should take off in the next week, and just, I mean, it should be a very long piece. So I am looking forward to that. It's got a nice curve. It's got nice taper. Now that we've done that, I'm assuming that next, like I said, this year, it should put on a good 6 to 8 inches of growth on this tree. So what we're going to do now is come in. We're going to take these 2 branches off. All right, so that those are gone, so we can plant it into the soil as deep as we need. And we're going to take a look, and this is the very utmost piece where there's no major scarring on the trunk. So we are going to go right above that and just cut that right out. Okay, make sure it's really nice. And then what we'll do is we're just going to go, I might need to make some more soil, but we're just going to push that right in. And we'll water it in here in a minute, but just push it right down in there, all the way to the bottom. So we got our cutting in that soil. Okay, and same thing, we'll bring back, slim down that watering until this gets roots. And we'll cover it with that bag so that we keep that as much humidity in it as possible. So that's all my elm work today. Hey guys, so I gotta rephrase my previous statement on this elm that I was doing the other day. I said that it was dead, and lo and behold, like 2 days later, I came out to find that not only is it not dead, it was producing multiple shoots on this bottom branch here, with potential, I see one more bud too, potential to break another bud. So actually this tree is not dead, is very much alive. And I thought maybe it would, but I just wasn't sure. But yeah, it's actually really shocking. So what I'm gonna do though is I probably will cut this tip back because it's dead. That part is dead. There's I've cut off a little bit here and there. I don't know if I can cut it the rest of the way. So there it goes. And that'll leave me just with the two new branches, and then this piece here, which I think I'm also going to gen out, so we can match this deadwood here and see what happens. So I'll do that and bring you guys in for the next the video. So we'll do that and rephrase that statement that it is actually not dead past me, and future me sees that. So it's kind of funny. So hopefully that's okay though. That's the reason I didn't touch it. I didn't know if it was completely dead or not, and I like it. So, I'm actually just really shocked. So, just wanted to give you guys that little update. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't the most informative, but I hope it was at least entertaining. So, this is all getting ready for my showcase I'm going to be doing on all my trees, deciduous and coniferous, and all the projects that I've got going. So those videos will be coming out soon. So I really hope you guys enjoyed these short little videos of work that I'm doing. It's not really big work, but it's all important work that I feel like never really gets shown. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and we will see you again in the next episode. Please like, share, subscribe. And as I said, if you enjoyed it, please donate to my GoFundMe. It'll really help me get to Japan. You are all amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Sayonara.